You are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
Absolutely excellent win from the Auburn Tigers versus Texas. Let's talk about it right here inside the town.
The Auburn Express. You are now listening to the War Report All-Town Podcast. With your boy, Ike Jones.
Town, we are here. Auburn versus Texas. Auburn gets the win versus Texas, 88-82. Y'all step on in here and let's talk about this game. Y'all, really excellent response from the Tigers as they step in here and get this win, 88-82. First half, they went down 42-34. Texas went out there shooting like crazy from three. And then Auburn just steady in response the entire game. They just found ways to continue to chip away, and in the second half really took over the game. Excellent response there from the Tigers. You love when you see your team go out there and do what they need to do to really get wins like this. This is a tough SEC matchup versus a team that Stephen Pearl called the most dangerous team on the schedule. Auburn found a way to go out there and get the win, 88-82. Y'all step on in here. Make sure you share the content with somebody wherever you are. Tap in with your guy, Ike Jones, man. I appreciate everybody who is in here with me on a Wednesday afternoon. Normally, you know, we're doing our live streams on Wednesdays, but of course, basketball is happening. So we out here doing basketball things with y'all, man. So thank y'all so much for stepping in here. Again, Auburn gets the win here, and it was a hard-fought game. It was a hard-fought game, and they deserve this win, do the Auburn Tigers, because they did everything that they were supposed to do in this game. And I'm switching a bunch of stuff around. Apologies, y'all, if I'm sounding disjointed, because StreamYard ain't doing what I wanted to do. Anyway, I'm distracting myself. Let's talk about the performances in this one. Auburn gets a game-high 31 from Keyshawn Hall in this one. Absolutely took over the second half of this game. He was the main reason why Auburn even closed this into a lead, or really was able to do anything in the second half of this game. I won't even say, like they said, he struggled in the first half. I don't think he really struggled. I think Texas did a good job of keeping the ball out of his hands. But man, second half, Auburn did an excellent job of making sure they got the ball into his hands. So really excellent job, I think, from Stephen Pearl and that staff of making sure that they got Hall involved, and they put Texas in really bad spots. Texas still shot 52% during this game, but Auburn closed that gap to shoot 51% overall in this game, outscoring Texas 54-40 in the second half of this one. So absolutely epic performance in the second half of this game. Again, Keyshawn Hall, a lot of that. But to not be outdone, you got to say what an excellent job Kevin Overton did in the second half of this game. He came out here in this one on the game, 5 3-pointers, 5 of 7 from 3. That's the kind of performance you need from KO. He came out here and really put his mark on this game and allowed Auburn to claw back into this one as well. I love what I saw from Kevin Overton. Just really a steady hand on the offensive end for him. And you know, listen, Tahad Pettiford's still struggling from the field, but I liked the game I saw from Tahad in this one. Overall, Tahad played a really good game. He did what point guards need to do. If he finds his offense again, man, this team is just going to be so dangerous, because now they've got 3 or 4 guys that can just really go off at any given time. But love the effort in the second half to just not panic. I said this in our live stream that we were doing with my Green Name Gang. Shout out to y'all. That really all Auburn needed to do was continue doing what they had been doing. You're getting good defensive possessions. Texas is just making everything in the first half. You're actually not getting bad offensive possessions. You're just not making some of the stuff that you should. And all of that turned on its head in the second half. Auburn starts Murphy banks in a 3 in the second half of this game, right? So Auburn starts getting some of those shots that they probably shouldn't get in the second half of that game. But the offense starts to work a little bit better because Texas ain't feeling as confident. They're not stepping around knocking down 9 threes like they did, right? So you're able to go back at them and give them a taste of their own medicine, particularly from the three-point line. Excellent composure this team has shown during the back half of this season so far, where they're not getting rattled when teams are making runs. They're not going out there and being intimidated by environments. They're not going out there and letting officiating rattle them. They're just going out there and hooping and saying, look, we're the better basketball team. Let's go prove it out here on the court. That's exactly what they did in the second half of this game. Excellent basketball game. From start to finish. I know it felt weird in the first half when Texas is out there making all these shots. I think Auburn played really good defense in the first half of that game, and you just tip your cap and you think they come back down to earth. They absolutely do. And you are able to elevate your offense and continue to play good defense. You force 11 turnovers while only turning the ball over 3 times in this game. Things that I have said consistently about this Auburn basketball team is teams that shoot the 3 really well are going to be tough teams for Auburn to beat just because of the way in which they help defensively. So if you can shoot threes, particularly contested threes, you're always going to have an opportunity to beat this Auburn team. And if Auburn doesn't turn the basketball over, they're a very, very tough team to beat. Because if they're not beating themselves, that means that you got to lace it up and play for 40 minutes. 3 turnovers in this game. Can't say enough about how well this team played composed in this one and wasn't doing too much. Excellent win for your Auburn Tigers. Statistically, again, Auburn shot 51% of the field from the field, 24 of 47 overall. Texas shot 26 of 50 from the field, 52%. Auburn shot 52% from 3, 11 3-pointers made in this game, 11 of 21. 74% from the free throw lines, coming back down to earth from where they've been recently at the free throw line, but not a bad performance from the free throw line, especially considering Texas actually got to the free throw line 23 times, but Auburn went to the free throw line 39 times in this game, 39 times. And this wasn't a situation where I felt like the officiating was lopsided in Auburn's favor. Auburn earned all of those free throw trips that they got. Absolutely excellent job by Auburn, again, fighting against what I thought was some really questionable officiating at points in this game to go out there and get a really good win against a tough team. 29 points from the free throw line will help you do that on 29 of 39 shooting. Points off of turnovers, 18. So of those 11 turnovers, Auburn was able to transition and get 18 points off of that, limiting the Texas to only 7 transition buckets. They won the rebounding battle against another really good rebounding team. Texas is a team in the top 15 in rebounding percentage on the season. Auburn wins the rebounding battle. They lose the rebounding battle 26-23. But what they did was stay close with a team that has been really dominating on the glass for the most part. So really good job. A lot of really made baskets in this one. So there's not a lot of opportunities to rebound, but Auburn staying close with Texas. Only 26 total rebounds for Texas, only 23 total rebounds for Auburn. Shows you how good the shot making ended up being in this game. Second chance points, Texas gets that 9-6. Bench points 12-7 in favor of Auburn. Those 12 bench points came courtesy of 10 from Elijah Freeman, who had a pretty decent game. Still feeling a little tentative, but I like the fact that he was getting to the mid-range a little bit. That offensive board that he got off of the Keyshawn Hall free throw miss to get the 2 points there. Absolutely critical. Really great job. He had 10. Jovic had 2 in this one. We'll talk about Philip Jovic in a minute in this one. Points in the paint actually favoring Texas by 4, 24-20. A lot of that coming from Voki Titus. We'll talk about him in just a minute. Fast break points actually in favor of Texas as well, even though points off turnovers in Auburn's favor. Block shots in favor of Texas 3-2. Steals in favor of Auburn 8-3. And Texas had 10 assists in this game. A lot of that coming off of those first half 3-pointers that they were making. Auburn with 8 assists on their 24 buckets. A lot of one-on-one basketball being played in this one, really, because that's more Texas's style. But Auburn getting Keyshawn Hall one-on-one a lot in this game. And he was just going with his head down, looking to get to the rim or looking to get to the free throw line. Absolutely excellent job again. Just play calling for Auburn offensively in the second half. Loved what I saw from them. I'm going to get over here into some of you all's comments before we get back into the numbers and talk about a little of the specifics, because I definitely want to get into some officiating stuff, some Voki Titus stuff, some Philip Jovic stuff, and then we'll talk a little bit about some specific player performances, and we'll get into our plus minus here in a minute. NH Barn Booster says, man, we know how to win some ugly games. War Damn Eagle. Absolutely, man. This is but you want a team that can get those gritty wins, that can go out there and just grind their way to a victory. Love to see it. Can Lay jumps in and says, what school of reffing did these refs go to, and what coach interference and that coach interference no call? What the hell? Great win. Feel good about the direction they are going. Let's camp out here for just a second before I get back into you all's comments. Because Texas is new to the SEC, I hadn't had an opportunity. We haven't played them in football, so I haven't really had a lot of interaction with Texas fans football wise. And the Oklahoma fans that I interacted with, for the most part, the ones that came on our show, great guys. So I had some really positive fan interactions. But the way Oklahoma football was very just like goofy in that game, doing a bunch of stuff they knew wasn't legal, but they were just trying to get away with it anyway. And then their fans defending it because Auburn fans were upset about it made me dislike Oklahoma a lot. Let's just keep it a buck. Texas basketball, really 2 years in a row, if you go back to last year with old buddy, the freshman that was there, doing a lot. Doing a lot, bro. That was Oklahoma. Excuse me. That was Oklahoma too. Texas wasn't that bad in basketball. My apologies. I got Oklahoma and Texas confused. But Texas basketball this year, doing a lot. Let's start with Voki Titus. Let's start there. My boy is a grade A flopper. Grade A. I mean, chef's kiss. He is out here initiating contact and then flailing around if anybody dares to try to be physical back with him. He's in the post, grabbing and holding, doing a bunch of stuff that, listen, I'm all right with the physicality and the grabbing and holding stuff. I don't like when you want to be physical and then act like, oh my goodness, you ain't see that ref. It's like, bro, you can't be the dude initiating the contact and the flopper, my boy. You got to pick which one of these people you want to be. Either you going to be big bad bully or you going to be the soft flopping dude. I don't like that junk, dog. I do not like. I see why he leads the NCAA in drawing fouls. He flops. I don't like that junk, dog. Did not like it. Did not like it at all. For the vast majority of this game, he's out there flopping. And you bigger than everybody else. You 7'1". What you flopping for? What are we doing, bro? Then the Texas coach complained about every foul call that Texas got called, and they were all fouls. He complained about every one of them. Then at the end of the game, my boy is on the court, a full step out onto the court, and the ball goes off of him, and he tries to complain that it was out of bounds. His dude on his staff runs up and is like, coach, because he wanted them to review it. I think they said it was not reviewable, but it should have been a tech if they had reviewed it. His guy runs up to him and is like, yo, you might want to like calm down and not review this, my boy. Like, because in fact, I think they had actually already used their review earlier in the game. And it was unsuccessful because they tried to review the Philip Jovic thing earlier. So he asks for a review later. So actually, if you ask for a review again and you've already not been granted that review, did they just turn it down and be like, you don't got a review, coach, get out my face? Or is there a penalty for that? Is there like should he have been given a tech for trying to get another review even though they didn't have one? Because it's the coach, not a player asking for it. I don't know about that. But you are on the court. So, of course, you thought the ball was out of bounds because it hit you. You didn't realize you was on the floor. What are we doing, Texas basketball? What are we doing? Come on, man. Just hoop, man. Just hoop. All that extra stuff, man. Man, come on, dog. And you lost. You did all that and you lost. I don't like it, man. I don't like it, bro. Hoop. I don't all that extra hoop, bro. Anyway, I'm off that, bro. But y'all, 9-time champion jumps in. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's impossible to lose when we shoot 39 free throws. Thanks for all you do, Ike Wardam Eagle. Thanks so much for that super chat. Working hard for you guys. Appreciate y'all so much. Mr. QR200 says, Wardam Eagle, how big of a win was this and what could have been a letdown game after that win at Florida? What kind of setup is this for the first-year head coach at Auburn? Excellent. I'm glad you gave me an opportunity to continue to say good things about Steve Pearl, because he deserves good things being said about him. Too many people giving him grief early in the season. New basketball team, they're trying to figure it out. Nepo baby and all. Stephen Pearl is a good basketball coach, and he's been a good basketball coach the entirety of this season. He was a good basketball coach before he became the head coach of Auburn this year. He has this team playing ball. If some people owe my boy an apology, I'm going to need you to come front and center and be like, you know what? I'm going to raise my hand. You right. I was tripping. I don't care how this season ends. Stephen Pearl deserves credit for how he has this team playing basketball, considering this team looked a mess a couple of weeks ago. No continuity, no leadership, and they are flat out going out here and outworking everybody on the floor, week in and week out. Some people owe my boy an apology. I got my guy Dustin jumping in here. Dustin, you ready to go, man? All right, gonna let Dustin jump in here. First time this season having my guy Dustin in here on a all basketball post game. Good to see you, man.
What's up, buddy? I've missed you.
Yeah, man. Definitely good to have Dustin in here, my fellow basketball guy on the War Report Podcast Network, man. How are you feeling about this win tonight? 88-82. Scrappy, kind of cheap playing Texas team. How you feeling, man?
First off, I want to say that when a little late watching the game coming back from Mobile at the Senior Bowl today, when I walked in the door and turned the game on, Auburn was down 12, 14 points. And then from that moment on, Auburn turned it on. So I'm going to take a little bit of credit for that. The moment that I turned the game on, it turned around.
They needed Dustin to be in place, man. You're supposed to hold down your spot.
Listen, dude, to your point about Stephen Pearl, good coaches figure it out as the season goes on. The sign of a well-coached team, it's a team that gets better as the season goes on. And when you bring in 10 new guys, man, it's not out of this world to think, hey, it might take a little bit of time for these guys to gel, for the coach to figure out everybody's game and to kind of figure out the rotations and just how he wants to play. That game plan Saturday in Gainesville, defensively, beautiful.
Excellent.
Beautiful, dude. Beautiful. Like, sign of a great coach. And he's been drawing up defensive game plans like that for Auburn for quite some time. So we shouldn't be surprised by that. 3 turnovers tonight. Spectacular. Keyshawn Hall, slow start. Once he gets going, a lot of clutch moments from him down the stretch there. I think this basketball team, it goes to a different level whenever Overton is hitting his shot. When he's on, this team goes from above average to a good basketball team, because you have that extra guard, and if there can be a night where, or if we can get to a point, Ike, where consistently him and Tejada are on at the same time, and then they have a night where they, 3 turnovers total, like your guards protected the basketball. If we can get to a point where that happens consistently, this team can really kind of reach its ceiling. So, and I'm just impressed too by, I was looking at this team earlier this season, and I was like, man, there's definitely talent, and the top end of the roster is super talented. So there will be nights where they get it together and they play well, like the Arkansas game where just everything clicked. But I really felt like the lack of depth and the lack of size was kind of what concerned me. But you played a 7-footer Saturday in Condon, and you drew up a game plan to eliminate that. So, again, I think as the season has progressed here, Stephen Pearl has kind of really figured out his personnel and is drawing up game plans. I mean, you see it going into the game. But, like tonight, he adjusted. He made adjustments as the game went on to kind of right the ship. So, I'm just impressed with the team, the run that this team is on right now. And then you're coming up on a tough stretch here, buddy. So, let's kind of see what the boys have here.
Yeah, absolutely. Tough stretch of basketball ahead. But to your point, I love how the staff has started to figure out number one, rotations, right? Like figuring out which lineups work really well and how to best position guys to be effective at all points in time. And guys are just embracing their role a lot more right now. You can see how I think earlier in the season, it was like your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn offensively. Tahad Pettiford has basically deferred and said, listen, Hall, go be the guy. I'm fine with that. What I'm going to lock in on is making sure we're like, there were points in the time in this game where Tahad was like, just gave up the ball and just called the play from the side. And he was just like, go, y'all do like, we just need to be in the right set right now. I don't care about how many points I have to score. Can we find ways to win basketball games? He's committed himself to the defensive end. He's cut his turnovers way down. Todd Pettiford's playing like a point guard. And that it elevates this team just immediately because they didn't have a point guard at the beginning of the season. Yeah. They just didn't. He was playing the point guard position. He was not being a point guard earlier in this year. He's controlling this game a lot more consistently now for this team. And they've just decided we're going to ride Keyshawn Hall to glory. Like, get out of the way, let him go get buckets. And they've gone away from like just pure flex to intermediate flex into like a ISO ball with Keyshawn and making teams decide, are you going to double team him early or are you going to let him get downhill and absolutely bully you guys in the paint?
Yeah, absolutely. And another big factor during this stretch, look, he didn't fill up the stat sheet tonight. So really not like his best night, but during this run here on a 4-game winning streak, Jovic, I mean, he played 14 minutes tonight, and it's like he doesn't have to, wow you with his stats. It's just, can you be that guy off the bench? Can you come off the bench and can I trust you for 14 to 17 minutes to give me some energy and hold it down? And he's gotten better as the season's gone on too. So it's been fun to watch, man. And I'm really, it really kind of, you go back to that buzzer beater. And it's like, what would the season look like if you had that win that I feel like you earned? But look, that could have been a gut punch. And this team had taken some tough losses. Look, they got whipped a couple times, and they had taken some really tough like losses at the buzzer like that. Up until that point, you just lost to your arch rival in Georgia in overtime. Right before that, like that was the point where this team could have mailed it in.
Yep,
they faced a crossroads right there. And ever since then, they said, you know what? Actually, we're going to take this the other direction, and we're going to take it out of the refs' hands. We're just going to handle our business. Now, this officiating crew tonight needs to get as far away from Auburn basketball as humanly possible, and John Cohen should never allow them in the building again. But look, they overcome all of that and got the job done. So, like, really impressed with. Look, there's other Auburn sports that we can point to that when they faced adversity,
this is the antithesis of the Auburn football team. Like right. This game could have gone really bad. Like Texas came out and absolutely punched Auburn in the mouth. They were making everything in the first half. They hit 9 threes in the first half. Officiating was crazy. You're getting foul calls and you're like, yo, what is this? Right? Like plenty of opportunities for this team to say it's not our night and just say whatever. We'll go out here and we'll play frustrated. We'll do frustrated basketball player stuff. Cheap fouls, bad shots, all that kind of stuff. And they just, I mean, literally just like dug in and said, no, we're not losing this game, dude. We're not going to lose this game. And they counterpunched better than I've seen a lot of teams, period, in collegiate basketball do. And it wasn't cheap stuff, right? Like it wasn't like, like there was only one turnover that happened near the end of the first half where Texas just basically had a lapse. They're throwing the inbound in the ball. The guy wasn't looking, and Auburn got the ball off of that. Outside of that, it's really gritty, physical defense. It is smart, effective offensive play calling and tough shot making. They're out hooping people. Stephen Pearl and they're out coaching teams. They're playing the kind of basketball that's championship level. Now, I am not saying this is a championship basketball team. What I am saying is the kind of basketball they're playing right now, championship level, because they're executing good defensive game plans and they're going out and being effective and efficient on offense. If that's not championship level, I don't know what it is.
I don't see a whole lot of teams in the SEC that I'm too worried about. Like Auburn couldn't beat these guys, go into the SEC tournament and handle their business and come away winning the SEC championship that way. Like the SEC, it appears to me, if this Auburn team keeps doing what they're doing, man, and we're going to learn a lot more here in these next 4 to 5 games about what this team is for sure.
You're on the road at Tennessee coming up here. That's going to be an absolute war. You've got to play Bama, which is going to be a tough team. You got Vandy coming up, who's been falling off a little bit here of late, but still a really tough basketball team as well. It's a tough stretch. And you got to go on the road to Arkansas, right? Like you've got
they'll be mad too.
Yeah, you've got some tough fights left here before you get to the Mississippi States of the world who are scrappy, and you get Ole Miss again, who's going to be pissed off that you beat them down in their crib, right? Like, so you don't have an opportunity to take your foot off the gas the rest of this season, but you've placed yourself in a position right now where you can finish strong because teams now, I think they're realizing, man, okay, how do we stop Keyshawn Hall? Like when he gets going, how do you stop that dude? Okay, we're going to have to double team him. All right. And now you start to see some other guys can step up and get you buckets. To your point, Kevin Overton tonight, he had 25 points on 6 of 9 shooting, 5 3-pointers, right? So you've got other guys that can step up and make buckets. You've seen Philip Jovic have a 20-point game this season. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you've got opportunities to really put some fear into some teams of like, yo, who are we taking away this game? We know we got to take this guy away, but man, we can't take him because they're just figuring it out, man. Love what I'm seeing. Let me get to
how impressive, real quick. How impressive is Hall going downhill, dude? Like I know it's easy. Like you think it's easy. Like just go to the basket. It's obviously a lot harder than that. Like he is a freight train going to the rim, dude. It's impressive.
Yeah, man. When he gets it going, it's impossible to stop.
Yeah,
it's impossible because he has everything, right? Like if you play off of him too much and he starts downhill, he'll step back on you and he can knock that shot down. He showed the mid-range when he turned and faced up. Voiki Titus backed off of him. I was like, what do you do? He can hit that, right? He just turns around the middle of the zone, pops a little mid-range shot. Okay, cool. We're going to press up on him. Nope, too strong for that. I'm getting downhill. If I feel the pressure or the bump, I'm going to take that contact. I'm going to finish through it, or I'm going to get to the free throw line. And he's a 90% free throw shooter.
That body type with that game is tough. That's got to be a tough guard.
and he's playing defense. He was not a defense. He's bought in on the defensive end too. Yeah, tough. It's tough. I don't know how you stop it. Mm-hmm. Super chat here from Heavy. I'm coming back to your other super chat for the plus minus later, Heavy, but I'm gonna get the other one here. This team feels like they're starting to believe in themselves and each other. I agree with that 100%. Can Lay jumps in, says, I was never hard on SP. I was hard on the team and glad they are getting better and proving me wrong. Listen, the team deserved the criticism because I don't think it was coaching that was a result of the poor play. I think Stephen Pearl's been coaching the same way this entire season. The team started to buy in and believe, though. Lisa jumps in. I owe the team an apology because I said it didn't think they had any dogs on the team. We have dogs, y'all. Yeah, no, they definitely got some dogs out there for sure. Kyle Clayton says, I'm gonna echo you. SP is a damn good coach, and all that hate is BS. It was never warranted. He deserves it and doing a hell of a job. Listen, man, I thought that Stephen Pearl should have been the next coach anyway. I didn't expect it to end as quickly as it did with BP. And I think Stephen Pearl got dealt an absolutely raw hand here, but he's making the most out of it, dude. He's making the absolute most out of it. Ben Bloodworth jumps in and says, I hope we meet A&M again in the SEC tournament. We definitely owe them some get back.
Dude.
Definitely owe them some get back.
Ugh.
All right. Everybody's favorite segment is coming up here. This is sponsored, of course, by our guy Heavy. Plus Minus. The Plus Minus brought to you by Heavy because Heavy is that guy. We'll get into the plus minus statistics. As always, when doing plus minus, I will start with the players who had the lowest plus minus and work my way all the way up to the highest ones. At -4, we have 2 Auburn Tigers on the night. Keyshawn Murphy was actually a -4 in the plus minus today, oddly enough, along with, unsurprisingly, Blake Mashalik in his 3 minutes of play was a -4 when he was on the court. He didn't register a single statistic other than that steal that got just thrown to him. So Blake was a -4 in the game during his 3 minutes. You really got to find a way for Blake to give you some more minutes, though. Because Tahad Pettiford playing 35 plus minutes a game just is not sustainable. It's a reason why he's not going to be as effective offensively. He's just not going to have the legs to be able to do that kind of stuff late in games. You got to find somebody. I don't know what in the world Caden Magwood has to do to get back in the good graces of Stephen Pearl to at least give him 2 to 3 minutes a game. Can we see Magwood for 2 to 3 minutes a game? SP, please let your boy Tahai get a breather. Lee.
Yeah, the depth is still something that concerns me moving forward.
Yeah. With a +1, those were the only guys with a negative plus minus. With a +1, 7 points on the night, Sebastian Williams Adams, who was 2 of 4 from the field, 3 of 6 from the free throw line. That's about what he normally gonna shoot, about 50%. 2 rebounds, an assist, no turnovers for Sway tonight, 2 block shots and 2 steals in his 32 minutes of action. A +4 on the night was, this one's gonna surprise everybody. A +4 on the night, Keyshawn Hall in his 31 points, 7 of 13 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 14 of 17 from the free throw line. He had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers in his 36 minutes of action. Next up at a +7 was Kevin Overton in his 33 minutes. So the 2 leading scorers, not your highest plus minus guys, which goes to show you winning basketball isn't just about scoring buckets, even though it absolutely is. It's just that some guys played heavy minutes, but they contributed to winning in a very different way when they're on the floor. But anyway, Kevin Overton, 25 points on the night, 6 of 9 from the floor, 5 3-pointers, 8 of 8 from the free throw lines, 4 really clutch free throws down the stretch there from KO, making sure that they kept Auburn in the lead and kept Texas at bay there at the end. He had 1 rebound and a steal on the night. So that leaves 3 players with our final plus minus champion of the night. I'll give you guys an opportunity to guess who you think it is between Tahad Pettiford, Elijah Freeman, and Philip Jovich. Which of those 3 do you guys think had the highest plus minus on the night? Don't cheat and go look at somebody else's statistics. If you're gonna guess straight up, man. Don't be a Voikie Titus out there and cheat. I want you to play it straight up. Who had the highest plus minus on the night? I'll give y'all a little second to guess a couple of those things, and I'll ask my guy Dustin a couple of more questions here before we get into the final finale of the plus minus here. Talk to me a little bit about what you're feeling about Tahad Pettiford right now as a basketball player this season.
Been a bit of a mixed bag. I think he's improved defensively, and it definitely felt like he was forcing things at the start of the season. And if you're forcing things and you get off to a bad start with that non-conference schedule that we had, things can roll downhill pretty quickly. But you still see those nights where he goes off and he looks like the Tahad Pettiford that we saw last year. So I don't know, man. It's just been kind of weird. It's just been kind of weird. And from game to game, I don't really know what to expect. I would say that in this 4-game losing streak, he's been a plus out there on the court. Like he hasn't, earlier in the season, you could point to some games where it's like, hey, when you're out here, you're hurting us. Recently, even like tonight, where he doesn't have a big statistical night, he's providing other things out there to where it's like, okay, well, you're helping us out. You're helping us win games. So if he can continue to do that, like, my old coach always used to tell me, like, if you're in a shooting slump, just make sure you're doing everything else right. Make sure you're doing everything else right, and then that'll come back. So, like, just play good defense, set the offense up, do your thing. You're the only guy that was at Auburn before this season, so be that leader. And look, he's still a really good basketball player. I'm a little bit confused as to the inconsistencies shooting from night to night, but hopefully, man, as we get here and the calendar turns toward February, he can tap into what we all know he can be. And again, as long as he's protecting the basketball and the assist to turnover ratio, that's obviously really important. I just want to see him be efficient, but you're going to need and tonight's one of them nights where he didn't really have to force anything. Now, when I came in and turned the game on, it was 34-18. So anything that happened prior to that, I can't speak to. But from the moment that I turned it on, he kind of felt like a guy that, like you were talking about, he realized, hey, I got other guys that are eating, and he was just efficient within that. So if he can do that and he's not forcing anything and not turning over the basketball, and then shot selection is really a big thing. And in the times where, like tonight, okay, Keyshawn Hall starts off slow. What does he do when he starts off slow? To hell with it. I'm just gonna go to the basket. Everything else will work itself out. I'm gonna go to the basket. They gotta foul me. Tahad, I feel like when he gets on nights when he's not shooting well, it's like he goes further from the basket, and you start seeing these bad threes early in the shot clock. And it's like, no, dude, just go to the hole. They're gonna foul you. It's the SEC. That ref can't sit there for longer than 20 seconds and not blow the whistle. Go initiate the contact. Okay, he's going to blow it. He's itching to do it. And then you'll get to the line.
I think the mid-range has
I want to see more of that
PTSD.
mid-range because it's dirty. His mid-range is dirty. And I want to see him activate that more, which I feel like he tapped into it more last year. And this year, I kind of want to see him get back off that high pick and roll action and get to that around that free throw line because he can knock that shot down in his sleep.
I think Tahad has a little bit of whistle PTSD because he just doesn't get some of those calls when he goes to the lane, and he's just like, bro, I can't win. So I'm not going to hurt myself out. He got a foul today for being elbowed in the face, essentially. He's trying to box out a 7-foot dude, and the dude's elbow comes and hits Tahad in the face, and that's a foul apparently on Tahad Pettiford. So,
Yeah, man. It's tough. Right now, it is tough. And I'm not even saying this from we've definitely been on the bad end of it as Auburn fans, but I'll zoom out and say just to watch a neutral game. I struggle to watch LSU and Arkansas with the way this officiating is right now. This conference has a real problem in multiple sports in the way that it's officiated. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. Yeah. And it's, you hear this all the time. It's one thing to be terrible. It's another thing to be inconsistent.
Yes.
If you suck at it, but you're consistent with your calls, well, cool. Well, then we know what we can and cannot do.
Right.
And we can adapt and we can adjust. When it's something different down the floor every time, and look, for the love of God, get everybody out of there. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but blow up wherever they do replays in the SEC. Just blow it up. Basketball, football, because every time it goes to review, it's I don't know what they're about to call here.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot.
Half the time they come back and just tell you didn't see what you just saw. Look, to say that they had indisputable evidence against A&M, that's crazy. That's crazy. You had indisputable evidence that he had that ball in his hand when the clock hit 0. Indisputable evidence. Cool. Can you show it?
Right.
No. We can't see it. Just trust us, bro. We got it. Yeah, I'm sure Tahad has whistle PTSD. I'm sure the football team's got PTSD. Don't worry. Check out these strike zones come SEC play in baseball. It's bad, dude. It's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough trying to figure out, like you said, from literally play to play, what the whistle is going to be on this one. So he's got to figure it out. But again, this team hasn't allowed that to stop them in these games. They've just continued to play through it. And I love the resolve from them. All right, let's finish off this plus minus here. You got 2 players at a +8, tied for a +8. First of those is Elijah Freeman. His 10 points, 4 of 6 shooting. 1 of 1 from the he had that 1 3-pointer. I was like, God, I'm so glad to see him make a 3, man. He's been struggling. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. I want to see him make the free throws a little bit more consistently. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and a turnover. He had 2 steals in the game, and his 19 minutes was a +8. The other player with a +8 in this one, Tahad Pettiford. 7 points on 2 of 10 shooting, a rough shooting night for Tahad, 1 of 4 from 3. He did make the 2 free throw opportunities that he did have, 3 assists, 0 turnovers for Tahad Pettiford tonight. That's the kind of game you need from your point guard, man. Like, I would love to see him again be double-digit scorer, right? Like, knock down. He took 4 threes. I'd like to see him make two of those 4, right? And so he gets to 10 points if he makes that other one. But man, 3 assists and no turnovers, man. Just run the ball club in 36 minutes. You don't turn the ball over at all. That's what you need from your point guard, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, you're paying a lot of money for him to come in and be productive, so he needs to do that. And this team is going to go as far as he goes ultimately. Look, Keyshawn Hall is great. We're used to it now, and it's fun to say. We know what it looks like when you get into March. We know what it looks like when you get in the dance. You got to have good guard play, and this team, whatever its ceiling is Tahad Pettiford playing at his maximum capability. So, just be efficient, man. Just be efficient. Don't force anything. And I think he did a good job of that, especially in the second half. If you got, look, it didn't happen often, but there were some nights where we saw Jabari Smith say, okay, like Kessler and you guys, you're doing your thing. Last year, I mean, look at that team. Look how loaded that team was last year. There were certain nights where you look at it and you're like, did Denver Jones play? Oh, well, Miles Kelly was hot. So, like there are certain nights where, hey, Overton's cooking, Hall's cooking. Let me just do my thing defensively. And that's a big part too. You talked about the buy-in defensively. There were times last year where you kind of had to hide defensively a little bit. And I feel like he's definitely improved and getting better. Like, so that's a big part of it too. And you've been in the system for 2 years. So getting guys set up, we talk about getting guys set up in the half court on the offense. It's just as important on the defensive side too. And I thought he did a great job of that in Gainesville in particular. I thought he did a really good job there. And then again, solid effort tonight. So like you said, just protect that basketball, be efficient. If you're only getting 10 to 12 points or something like that on average, if they're efficient points, it looks a lot different. And again, man, I would like to see him on those nights go to the basket. Go to the basket. You don't have to shoot fadeaway threes with 20 plus seconds on the shot clock.
Right. So your leader in plus minus, the Warrior, Philip Jovic. Only 2 points, only 14 minutes, but super effective in his time out there. Frustrating the hell out of Voiki Titus. All 14 of the minutes he was out there on the floor. He was a plus 10 on the night in his 14 minutes of action. Only had 2 rebounds, only had the 1 steal. But, man, Philip Jovic just plays winning basketball, man. He does all the little dirty work. He's undersized, but he's going to front the post every single time when he's supposed to. He's going to box out. He's going to check out on every single shot that goes up. He's going to play out high and be outmatched by guards and just go defend them when on switches. He's going to do all the stuff they ask him to do, and he's going to do it with a smile on his face and a little sly grin if he happens to catch you slipping one time, bro. Like, he just going to do what he's supposed to do. I love Philip Jovic and what he's turned into, because early in the season, I was like, get this dude off the court. What is going on? Right now, Philip Jovic is playing really great basketball.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest. The first couple of weeks, I was like, what's happening? I don't know if he belongs out here or not. Man, he has just gotten better as the season's gone on. And you got to give the coaching staff credit. And it's fun. It's funny too, because Stephen Pearl said something that was really interesting. Everyone was saying like maybe, the game moving too fast for him and things like that. And Steven said, no, he's moving too fast. He's trying to make up for the difference in speed of where he came from, and he's overthinking it. He's rushing himself. He doesn't need to be going as fast as he's going. He needs to just slow down and play his game. And it took him a little bit of time to see that. But look, you look at his background and where he's coming from. Okay, maybe he wasn't going to come in and hit the ground running and crush it right off the bat. And then we talk about guys finding their role and finding their way in the rotation and just buying into that role. And we've seen that over the past decade at Auburn, where guys have taken less minutes but bought into their role.
Yeah.
And it's got the best out of them. Once you buy into the system, because this system is proven to work. Once you buy into this system, once you buy into the plan that this staff is going to put together for you, yeah, just trust and believe, man. Like they know what they're doing. And then to your point earlier about Stephen Pearl, he's been in this. Like he's been in this system. This is the same thing. Are there things that are going to be different? Is he going to do things different than Bruce? Absolutely. But the structure of this program, the foundation of this program is the same. And so Auburn has a track record. Auburn has a history now of you can come here, you can develop. We saw a guy like Chaney Johnson took a step up from Division II to D1. And at first there, it was like, is this really going to work? But as he played, and credit to the staff for not just completely giving up and saying, no, Jovic, this isn't it. Oh my goodness. What are we doing here? They stuck with him. They gave him his minutes. You kind of heard that he was improving in practice, and he took Steven's advice. He slowed down, and now he's just playing his game. And once you get comfortable in your game, it's like anything in life. Once you get comfortable with what you're doing and you're not overthinking and you're just reacting, well, then it's go time. And those 14 to 18 minutes a night that he can provide for this team, and hey, he didn't fill up the stat sheet, but he obviously did a lot of things well defensively. If he's leading in plus minus, he did his job there. So he is a crucial part of this team because this team isn't very deep. So the guys that are going to come off the bench, they got to be productive.
Absolutely. Agree with all of that. Stat of the night here, Devin points it out. Second half, Auburn had, let's make sure I'm looking at this correctly, 28 possessions, scored on 24 of them.
That'll win you a ball game.
That is offensive efficiency. They averaged 1.9 points per possession in the second half of this game. And that's how you go and play winning back. That's how you walk a team down that has an 8-point lead at the half. Is you're just making every trip count, and you're finding ways to go get buckets when it wasn't working for you in the first half.
Yeah.
Absolutely excellent second half there from the Auburn Tigers. All right, we're going to get out of here, man. Appreciate everybody for jumping in here. Appreciate my guy, Dustin, fresh off the road from the Senior Bowl. Going to look forward to updates over on the Uptempo podcast about all the things that you were able to witness out there. I did see the post that you had from Jeremiah Wright. I'm going to let you get that off on Uptempo and all that, man. But definitely appreciate you making that trip to Mobile for that one. But tell the people before you get out of here, next time that they can check out some work that you got going on over there.
Yeah, just posted about 30 minutes ago. I spoke with K'Ron Crawford, so we got that up on the channel. K'Ron Crawford, I got to say K'Ron. Got that up on the channel, and then I got the Jeremiah Wright interview. Going to post that up tomorrow, and Alice Golish rolled through the Senior Bowl practice, so we got to talk with him. We'll have that uploaded at some point. The audio on that one's not the best because it was outside and windy, and it was on in a gravel parking lot, and cars were pulling by. So I'm going to do a little bit of editing in that and get that cleaned up. But I'll have that up for everybody next 24 to 48 hours. So we'll kind of talk about some of the things that he discussed there. He went to Illinois today to recruit the 4-star quarterback up there, Abrams, that they're really high on. And things appear to be going in the right direction on that one. Goes up to Illinois today to visit with him at his school. And then comes down to the Senior Bowl, directly from there. So he's putting in work, man. He's working hard. So we're going to have all that covered. So yeah, just follow us over there, man. And Jeremiah Wright, love that dude. So yeah, definitely look forward to that tomorrow because he had a lot of excellent quotes.
Absolutely. Okay, y'all make sure y'all go and check my guy Dustin out over there, Uptempo podcast. You know who we are. We're right here, the War Report Live Town Show, part of the Auburn Express, powered by the War Report. We're gonna get back at you guys. Yeah, you already know what it is. But we're gonna get back at you guys tomorrow morning. Mike G's got Auburn Express content dropping for you. I'm going to have some more basketball content going into the weekend as we head up to Knoxville. I'll be making the trip up there covering that game. So make sure you guys tap in with us later in the week on that. And that's it, man. I am going to get out of here. But until the next time, and as always, War Eagle. Peace.